On Tuesday, November 11th, number 9 Kentucky men's basketball traveled to KFC Yum Center to take on the number 12 Louisville Cardinals, losing the first game of the season. Here's Jenna Lifshin for more on the Battle of the Bluegrass.
On the court here inside the KFC Yum Center, where number 9 Kentucky men's basketball just fell in an absolute heartbreaker to number 12 Louisville with a final score of 96-88. Now, just a few moments ago, 22,000 fans were packed in this arena. For the first time in over a decade, both teams are ranked in the AP Top 12, so it was a huge matchup. Even though it's super early on in the season, can't help but feel that this has some March Madness and conference implications on how good these two teams will do.
First few minutes of the game became a preview of what would be a very back-and-forth first half for both teams. Colin Chandler quickly put the Cats up 5-4, but back-to-back wide-open three-pointer from Louisville's Ryan Conwell flipped the momentum entirely and gave the Cardinals an early 5-point lead. However, Kentucky was able to respond with a 6-0 scoring run of their own to cut the deficit down to 1, and a Jalen Lowe three-pointer put the Cats on top 21-19 with 11 minutes remaining in the first half. However, Louisville's offense stayed hot, led by Conwell, who would finish with 24 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals on the game. More open threes allowed the Cards to extend their lead. Michael Brown Jr. added to the pressure as well. The freshman guard, who's already on both National Player of the Year and Point Guard of the Year watch lists, who would eventually finish with 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists of his own. And with 4 minutes left, he would drain another 3 to push Louisville's lead to 18. However, a late steal would give Kentucky some offensive spark from Otega Owe, and Denzel Aberdeen would be able to close out the half with 2 three-pointers on his way to a 26-point, 7-rebound, 3-assist performance, trimming the halftime score to 53-46. The second half started the way the first half ended with Louisville's offense. They opened their scoring with yet another uncontested 3. Kentucky's biggest struggle on Tuesday showed up once again in its perimeter defense. Soon, the Cardinals were back up by 20, and while Kentucky in program history has never overcome a 20-point deficit, but that didn't stop the Cats from battling back. Tulane transfer Cam Williams finally made his name known as a deep 3 would spark the Kentucky offense. The Cats would go on another scoring run, draining threes like nobody's business, led by Colin Chandler, who shot 2 back-to-back threes to cut Louisville's lead down to 11. Jalen Lowe would quickly follow in suit, finding a three-pointer of his own. Now, Aberdeen would attempt a 3 from the corner, but would miss. However, Cam Williams soared in for a putback dunk, bring the lead down to 8, contributing to his best half of the season, shooting 100% from the floor, finishing with 5 points and 4 assists. It would be Colin Chandler once again who would find a score from deep, marking the second game this season. He would shoot perfect in the second half, finishing his game with 12 points and 6 rebounds. Kentucky cut the lead all the way down to 4, but in the final minutes, Louisville found its response and one pushed the lead, and another late bucket ultimately became the difference maker as the Cardinals were able to hold on to a 96-88 victory.
Kentucky men's basketball looked to bounce back this Friday against Eastern Illinois in the final game of the BBN United Tip-Off Classic. One last time, reporting live from Louisville, I'm Jenna Lifshin with Big Blue Banter.